The Earth is frozen and terribly cold. Scientists say for the Earth and oceans to freeze completely, Earth's average temperature would have to be about 130 degrees Celsius below zero. It is an incredible cold. Imagine living on Earth during this time. Some of you will probably say that the temperature of the Earth, whose core is molten material, is still 130 degrees below zero. But you are completely wrong. Our Earth has already experienced these frost twice. Yes, this is a land that is getting warmer by the day. The last time the Earth completely froze was about 635 million years ago. 635 million years ago. These times when the Earth is frozen are called cryogenian. Cryogenian is a Greek word. The word means cool. Scientists call it Snowball Earth. Now the question is, why and how did the Earth freeze? And what happened when these ice caps melted? You should know that the answer to both questions is the same. Volcanoes. Yes, the volcanoes brought about this havoc. Stay with Dark Fact. How can scientists tell if the Earth is completely frozen or if the ice has opened? From the layers of the Earth. Because in the rocky layers of the Earth, there are rocks called drop stones. These rocks used to lie between the ice caps and the ground. But as the ground got warmer and the ice melted, mountains of ice formed on the waters. You definitely remember the iceberg that collided with the Titanic. At that time, there were icebergs not only in the north and south of the planet, but also in the oceans close to the equator. When these icebergs melted, they left rocks between themselves. These stones are called drop stones. They are found everywhere in the world. Drop stones are remained in various parts of the planet, and throughout history, layers of soil were added onto these rocks. These layers show the stages the Earth has gone through throughout its history. As the Earth got a little warmer, the ice in the oceans was slowly melting. The oceans were rife with icebergs. Today, icebergs can be seen in the north and south of the planet, but not as large as the icebergs of that time. Of course, there are no icebergs near the equator right now because today the average temperature around the equator is about 31 degrees Celsius. At this point, I'm sure a question has arisen for many of you. Your question is, 635 million years ago, when the Earth was completely frozen, there were no living organisms living on Earth. What happened to them? You should know that at that time, there were no vitals on the ground. Not that there is no creature, of course. Rather, in the waters and under the ice, simple organisms such as single cells or sponges lived. Scientists say that there was likely bacterial life on the ice, because now there are bacteria living in the Arctic and on the ice. Another question that comes up is, how did volcanoes create this terrible glaciation? You should know that the global climate consists of a very sensitive system. It must always act in such a way that the carbon dioxide produced on Earth can move up and enter the atmosphere. That's what makes the weather temperature. Volcanoes perform this mission well. They release carbon dioxide from themselves and send it into the Earth's atmosphere. So, how come volcanoes caused it to freeze? About 650 million years ago, volcanoes reached a stage where they ejected basalt igneous rocks from themselves. Basalt rocks are like filters that do not allow carbon dioxide to move upwards and absorb it. This feature of basalt causes the percentage of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere to decrease, which means that the Earth is getting colder and colder. One caveat: what does carbon dioxide do to make the Earth warmer or colder? It is a greenhouse gas we hear a lot about these days. When the greenhouse gas in the atmosphere decreases, less heat and light are absorbed, and the Earth cools. Carbon dioxide or other greenhouse gases in the atmosphere do the opposite. It absorbs heat and light and keeps it in itself for a long time. This is why the Earth is getting warmer. These days, we hear a lot about people say that the Earth is getting warmer, and they say that the reason is the carbon dioxide that humans produce. Now, back to the volcanoes that are creating a glaciation. As we said, basalt rocks absorbed carbon dioxide and the air cooled, but volcanoes have exacerbated the process. Why? Because they were sending sulfur to the top. Sulfur is also a gas that doesn't allow heat to pass through. There were many volcanoes active on Earth, ejecting a lot of basalt rock, which absorbed carbon dioxide, and, on the other hand, high volumes of sulfur went up into the sky and didn't allow the heat of the sun to reach the Earth. The result of all of this caused the Earth to become a giant fridge freezer. Sulfur gas not only did not allow heat to pass through, but also blocked light, so that it didn't let the sunlight hit the ground and it got dark everywhere. The cold and the darkness helped each other to increase the diameter of the ice day by day. You should know that the ice absorbs much less heat than water, because water absorbs heat, but ice reflects heat. When ice reflects light, it actually reflects heat. Consider a white car and a black car. Ice is like a white car and absorbs less light and heat, but a black car absorbs more light and heat. The ground was frozen like a bullet. It also lasted for more than 20 million years. But then what happened? What was the incredible thing that happened in this time frame? How did this happen save the Earth? Humans set foot on Earth, and few years after this era, stay with dark fact. All of these questions will be answered in a moment. But before that, please support this video with likes and comments and subscribe to our channel. After millions of years, the volcanoes were reactivated. But the rocks were so frozen that the basalts of these volcanoes also didn't absorb this carbon dioxide, and the carbon dioxide entered the atmosphere. Over time, the percentage of CO2 increased and the Earth got warmer and hotter. Do you know how long it took for the Earth to warm up? It took 15 million years for the Earth ice to melt. Part of it, of course. Creatures and waters became more sophisticated after ice melted. That is, their diversity increased from the single-cell state. The only multicellular organisms that made it through the Cryogenian era were sponges. Currently, the creature still lives deep in the sea. Scientists call sponges a creature you can't kill. Over time, the Earth warmed, and this heat gave rise to various organisms. Interestingly, humans today have contributed to the global warming process and are producing carbon dioxide themselves, which is why the Earth is said to be warming day by day. Humans appeared on Earth 621 million years after the Cryogenian era. Please share this video with others and support us with likes and comments. Also, don't miss our other videos.